Hi, so I went and bought a web camera because I realized that the moderator videos were due tonight and not tomorrow. So now I have a webcam on my computer and one attached to it that works, maybe. Okay, so all individual questions. This is my individual one first. What can I tell about the quality of the Shin article? This article was really interesting, actually, but within the first page you can see that there is an abstract. It's produced by a journal. It's from 1998, which some people may assume dated, but I'm a history person, so I don't. It's reproduced with the permission of the copyright owner, and we cannot produce this again, so I guess if I made a copy, I would be in trouble. The American Journal of Public Health, and it's from a research library. Looks like the source may have been online, but then again, I could be wrong because it doesn't have like the JLOR or something attached to it. So on the first page, you have your abstract, and within the abstract, the option for methods. The last sentence there: families with prior history of shelter use were excluded from the follow-up study, which I thought was an interesting little piece of information in the abstract, because otherwise I don't think they mention that within the article itself. Maybe they do. Yeah, maybe it's in this first. Yeah, they do. A little bit. Yeah, 5 years later to determine, yes, they do. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. They also have your ratios down here, and they also have a conclusion. Obviously, the more you dig into the article, the more interesting it gets, but within the first page, I would assume that this is a credible piece. As far as the contributors, I don't know if they're editors or authors, I can't tell, but I'm assuming that they're people that participated in this study, in which case you have a lot of women that are participating. I mean, James and David seem to be the only two men participating in the study, which, you know, I would never consider to be a bad thing. So I thought that was a good question. Moving on. The group question for group 2, according to the video lecture, how does the concept of ecological validity help us to do better research and action? How would you apply to your own interests? Just so you know, Dr. Voorhees, the cats falling from the sky was a little sad. It was a little sad and quite scary, actually. That DDT really messed some people up there. The fact that they amounted to cats, my hair is a mess, sorry. The fact that they came down to the cats, obviously you have an issue with your research if you're throwing cats down to, Operation Cat Drop, as you put it. I thought the videos were really interesting, and mainly whenever we're thinking about ecological validity, according to the videos, we need to think about the actors, who is involved, levels, what is the system aspects are important, the processes, how are the actors and levels connected, in which case you're acting yourself, those who are involved, and the aspects of the systems, how are those connected within the process. The measurement, you have to systematically measure things, you have to systematically understand and change the situation for it to be considered a measurement, and change the ecological input and process / intervention of the ecological impact. So you expand on those later in tape 2, where you define the collaboration and change a little with a little more validity. There it is. The process, the network of power across the ecological topography of the research, and the extent to which the researcher / actor access their own power and position. I think you just want us to be thoughtful in how we're considering power and how we approach power and how those connect to the actors, those people that are involved, and the system and the aspects of that system. As for an example of this, I don't really know. I was trying to think of something on a daily basis that we do. In my apartment building, they spray bug spray, and I have no control over this. They'll come into my apartment with my dog here and spray bug spray. I put post-its, I've talked to the landlord, they do this. It's not my property, I don't own it, I have no rights, basically, in this sense. And I do have a spider that lives in the corner, but the spider catches flies. And it's not a big spider, it's not super creepy or anything, and I'm not a freak that, like, attracts a lot of flies, but I do leave my windows open, and my landlord also does not put up screens on the windows, so flies do come in. The spider catches the flies, and if it didn't, then the flies would produce maggots, and then they would make unsafe food that either would, create unsafe living space for me, or my dog, or both of us. And then my dog and I would die, producing a very bad smell that no one would probably notice until the smell came out of the apartment. People might notice I'm not on Facebook as much, or that I didn't make a video, but that didn't seem to bother anyone this week, so the only time people would notice my death is, after they had sprayed the insect spray and killed my spider. So my point is, if they spray the insect spray in my apartment building, they kill my spider, then, flies create maggots, unsafe living conditions, I die, the smell bothers people, and, there you go. Ecological validity. Sorry, my tape's late.